stopping the war is not going to help Iranian people. And I hope this is going to be our reality, that the boots are on the ground by Israel and America soon. Otherwise, we're going to see a massive execution till coming like in next couple of days.
Mandana Karimi is an Iranian-born model and actress who spent years working in India. Today, she has become an activist to free the innocent people of Iran from the oppression of the Iranian Islamic regime. Mandana, welcome to the Quad Interviews.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's such an honor. So thank you so much for having me.
I've been watching the good work that you're doing, and the way that you have had to put
Thank you.
your career aside to do this important work. But let's go back a little bit and tell us a bit about your story. You were born in Iran, your family Iranian. Until when were you there, and why did you leave?
Well, I was born in Iran, and I was born into Muslim family actually. I was abandoned by my own family because of my choices, even when I was in Iran. I think after age of 12 or 11, I started questioning a lot of things. I had problem with the hijab. I had the problem with the way my school was. I had a lot of issues there. And finally, by the age of 18, I managed to leave the country without the support of my family or anyone. And I became a model and actress later on. I think I was like 2021. And the next thing I know, actually, when I left Iran, I left with a lot of anger. I left with a lot of sadness, because I felt like I could not be fully myself in that country. And when I left, I had,
You were
yes.
raised in a traditional Muslim family that was in favor of the Islamic regime of Iran.
See, to be honest, when I used to live with my father and the Islamic school that I went, as a child, like I give you one very silly example. I remember I was 8 or 9. We had this class, and in the class they were talking about Israel and America, and we hate them so much, and so and so. And I asked, I said, "Who is Israel?" Like I thought Israel is a person
Mm.
that we hate so much, and there is actually educational information about it. And my teacher punished me, and that was pretty much my childhood. And not because I was born in a Muslim family. I think a teenager, as a kid, I didn't understand why do I have to be forced to certain belief. And I'm not the only one. There are a lot of Iranian kids, they were born in Muslim families, and when they grow up and they kind of start understanding the reality and what it is that they're trying to teach you, you kind of it's a backlash to the reality that has been taught by your parents, by the society. And someone like me, I was against all of it, and I left. And to be my breaking point in Iran was when I was arrested. Not before that, I was arrested multiple times because of hijab, because of I was in a park with friends. But the last time I got arrested with my friends, we were kept in a cell for 3 days, no water, no food, and I met with accident. When we got arrested, I just came back from hospital. We were in the house, and we all got arrested. And
You got arrested for
I,
what?
I I still
What
have this mark on my knee.
what did you get arrested for?
So, well, it was multiple things. I was arrested I had an accident. We were in a hospital, and a lot of my friends who took me to hospital, they were probably just doing, fun and jokes in a hallway. And apparently, someone who's from the Sepah of the hospital, they have seen these people, and they were like, these people, they don't seem like married couple, or they seem like this bunch of young people, because we were in Shumal. And they seem like a bunch of young people who probably staying at some villas and having, party or drinking or whatever. And so this person apparently follows us and comes to the villa, and then calls the other people to come and, arrest these people because they seem like they're partying, they seem like they're not married. And the next thing I know, I remember it so clearly. I literally, my friends, they were helping me to remove my clothes and change my clothes. Suddenly the door is kicked, and there are these people come in, and they say, I say it in Farsi. They say, "Khafisho, kisafato, kisafato, pasho, pasho, pasho." It means get up, get up. And I'm like, I can't get up. Like my leg was just straight, and then I had stitches on my head. And anyhow, they arrested all of us. They put a case of drinking, the wrong relationships, and I remember they took our laptops. At that time, there was DVDs in the house. They took DVDs. They put all of us in the middle of the hall. They took pictures, and it just the drama that these people do. And the next thing we know, they put us in a van, and we went to this. It looked like a police station, but later on, we find out it wasn't a police station. It was more of like a semi court where they bring people, and without kind of hearing, or without you having a lawyer, you kind of get a right away punishment. And anyhow, they kept us there for 3 days, no water, no food, nothing. And after 3 days, they said that you guys are, released. And when we were coming out, suddenly this guy comes and says, "We have fought a revolution. We have fought Iraqis. We're not gonna let you guys go like this." And then he gives us lashes.
So you were beaten up, you were arrested, incarcerated, and beaten up, and then released. So he gave you lashes before you went home.
Mine was worse actually, because as I said, I couldn't walk, and I just came from hospital, and the woman looks at me and says, you already got what you deserve. You're gonna watch your friends to get lashes. We're not gonna give you lashes. So she made me actually watch all of my friends to
Oh
get
my God.
lashes. I mean, when I speak about it, and when people ask me, why are you talking so much about Iran? Why are you standing up for your people? You left the country like 20 years ago. You're not even in Iran anymore. When I remember my friends, when I remember my own self that I was in that position, and when I see the videos and images coming from Iran, see, for me, this is not politics. For me, this is not something that, oh, it's a hot topic, let's talk about it. And for me, this is not even activists, it's more of like I've lived, I was in that police station. I have seen my friends getting lashes. I have flee the country. I know what this regime is about. So, and I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it. I feel like these butterflies and sickness in my stomach, because when someone talks about the regime and justifies their actions, and when the propaganda of the regime is so strong that people say, "Oh, we saw so many videos. There's so many Iranians supporting them." And when people come to me and say, "Oh, what a traitor you are. You went to Israel. You support Israel." When I hear all of this, it makes me so sick. It's so sick. The selective activists, the selective empathy that people have towards what's happening in Iran, what's happening with this war, and everything else. And for me, that incident was one thing that it broke something in me, that I could not stay anymore. I could
Man,
not live in that country anymore.
of course. I mean, who would? What happened to your friends, Mandana? Did they also manage to get out?
Yeah, we all, after we got lashes, we all of us, we came out, and we had to pay a really heavy price. We paid money, we got lashes, and one of my friend, actually, she comes from a very, like, her dad is a known official person. Later on, we got to know that these guys, they actually find out who she is. To make an example, apparently her parents, they said, make an example out of them. I mean, it's just so sickening. When you go into the depth of it and more details, it's so sickening what this regime and these people are capable of.
Mandana, and I'm asking an obvious question now, but we have an audience
Sure.
that we also have to educate. Was it worse for
Yeah,
women?
it is. It is worse, because if you have a conversation and you ask me, okay, Vandana, what right Iranian women have? I cannot think of a right, but I can think of hundreds rights that we don't have.
Hmm.
Um, from your divorce, from going to the court and giving what do
Evidence.
you call it,
Yeah.
your opinion on
Testimony.
evidence,
Yeah.
testimony, from the way you wear your clothes, the way you can be in public. I mean, I can go on and on and on about the rights that we don't have. And to be honest, Iranian girls who they survive this regime, they still live there. th- their voices are either be kept quiet, so they keep quiet, they don't talk about things, they hide, and their life is absolutely living a it's a double life. It's like they do something in private, and then in reality, which is outside, they have another life. And it's like there is this fear that you are living with it constantly. And by the way, I want to mention one thing. Someone like me sees and understands freedom because I lived in Iran. When I came out of Iran, it was culture shocked. Like I was always so worried about like what I'm wearing and then how I am, and it took me many years to get out of that fear, to get out of that. Okay, Mandana, you're safe. No one is going to suddenly come and like drag you. No one is going to suddenly come and arrest you. No one is going to come and say, why are you wearing what you're wearing? And then the next thing we know, I became a model, an actress. Imagine. And now when I think about it, that the suppression and the oppression that I had so much of it in Iran, I was a very shy person. It kind of it made me wanting to express myself so much that when I became a model and actress, and especially when I moved to India, I learned the language so fast. It was more of like I'm out. I want to express myself. I want to talk. And now one of the reason I speak so loudly and so openly and I challenge people is that because I know the feeling of not having freedom. And talk, by the way, I want to say about Israel as well. You know, a lot of people have so much of opinion about what the government of Israel is and what the people are. One of the very interesting thing and eye-opening trip that I had last year was Israel. And you know, before I had Iranian passport, 4 years ago I got my passport changed. So finally I went to Israel, and it's so interesting to see so many Iranians or half Iranians, half Jews are living in Tel Aviv, and they look like us. Tel
Yes.
Aviv looks like Tehran. I can smell foods, Iranian food,
Yeah.
but they live in such a freedom.
Yes.
And you know, the people that I met in Tel Aviv, the Iranians, we were crying. I mean, I didn't even know them. I was at the restaurant. They got to know I'm Iranian, and they hugged me, and we were crying. And I said, this is last year. I said, you know, it would be so amazing one day I could be the same way in a restaurant in Tehran, and doing what I want to do. Just be free to just live. You know, just a basic.
This is amazing,
Yeah.
and I agree. I think the Iranian Israelis are very Iranian. They love their Iranian background and culture and food, and you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Mandana, what do you feel when you hear these so-called feminists in the West saying that America women have the same freedoms as Iranian women, or that they have less freedoms than Iranian women, or that Iranian women have freedoms? What does that make you feel as a woman when you hear women in the supposed progressive West not only not standing with you, but gaslighting you?
It's devastating. It's heartbreaking. And in India, there was a reporter just a week before the war, after everything that has happened. And I'm not even talking about 2019. I'm not talking about 2020. After everything that has happened, she released an interview of Arakchi, and she's sitting in Tehran. And in her interview, she says, "Oh, Tehran is beautiful. Women are free. They wear whatever they want. It looks like a European city." I challenge her. I posted her interview on my page, and I posted pictures of January. And I said, "Okay, so ma'am, can you please explain it to me because I don't understand. I'm Iranian. I've lived in that country. I still have my family and friends. I still hear the horrifying story about the hijab and then, you know, girls and women getting executed, getting arrested, getting raped." And she had actually what they did, she called me on her channel and she tells me, "Mandana, I'm one of the women who cut my hair for Masa Amini. What you're trying
Wow.
to say, it's a big lie." Is a big lie, and you're sitting in India enjoying Indian freedom and telling Indians lies. I said, "Ma'am, what lie am I talking about? I can sit here and show you thousands videos, thousand images, even by the government putting the whole nation under blackout, internet blackout, we still have the images. Are you denying the fact that Iranian women, they have no absolutely right? And she's like, oh no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that I support women. I said, no, you don't. Because if you support women, in January, there were a lot of nurses, they got raped in the same hospital that they were giving treatments to the people who got injured. And
Yeah,
she had nothing to say. And by the way, they cut me. They cut me mid-air. It was live show. They cut me off.
yeah. It's really incredible how it just feels like the world has turned upside down and are making the evil, the evil people, the good guys. Let me ask you something, Mandana. Are you in touch with your family in Tehran, in Iran?
Some friends and family, yes. Because of the blackout and it's very expensive for them to buy credit to call out. And as we know, a lot of banks have been blocked. Normal people who are not supporting the regime, it's very difficult for them to access their cards or their accounts. But people who I'm in touch more are actually not my family and friends. I don't know them. They send me messages, they call me on Instagram, and they're like, we love you. Thank you so much. Please, can you talk about this person? Can you talk about my cousin? Can you talk about my mom? But yes, I am in touch with a lot of people. I mean, and these days, I feel like everyone in Iran right now is my family.
That's amazing. Now, you obviously
Yeah.
heard about the ceasefire that has been negotiated tomorrow in Pakistan, and how they've opened the Straits of Hormuz, and how they've committed or they've agreed to start to think about committing to certain conditions of the United States. What do you think is going to happen?
See, first of all, I want to say this ceasefire is just a strategy and reconnecting, reprogramming for US. And I don't think Mr. Trump is gonna give in to a terrorist organization. And to be honest, this regime has shown the world that what they are capable of in past almost 40 days. And also they've shown it openly that they are a support of all the proxies in Middle East and in the region. So this negotiation for me, for Iranians, it's absolutely unacceptable. While the Iranian regime takes this as a victory, but also it shows that the government has absolutely nothing left. They are wounded. They've been in the weakest point of the history of 47 years, and they are ready to do anything. Because if you look at it, the relationship with Pakistan, it didn't really exist. But then again, India is supporting Iran. There is a lot of politics has been played. But as a Iranian, for a lot of people, ceasefire might be sounding like a peace, but it's not, because peace is not gonna. The ceasefire hasn't given peace to Iranian people, as we saw it yesterday. They have announced that the executions, it has to kind of speed up. And so I don't know what the world is talking about peace. What kind of a peace are we talking about? Are we talking about the peace in Israel? Are we talking about the peace in UAE? Are we talking about the peace in Saudi? What peace? Ceasefire. This ceasefire is just a matter of just stopping the bombing
I agree with you, and
from America.
but I agree with you, but do you think that the regime is so weakened that they would now be willing to, for example, dismantle its enriched or give back or give away or destroy its enriched uranium? Do you see them doing anything of what Trump's preconditions are?
I don't think they're gonna give in so easily to Trump, because again, this regime is the core of their belief is an ideology of wiping out the entire nation. Whoever is not agreeing with the ideology of a good Muslim or the Brotherhood, you're gonna be dismantled. And what I'm hoping for, especially in the neighbors countries, Saudi, UAE, and the other countries in the neighborhood, they should not let this regime to even negotiate. They should not be even be any negotiation, because this war, specifically this war, a lot of things before. it was more of a myth. It was more of a conversation behind the door. But now this regime has shown that Hezbollah, Houthis, Hamas, it's all this regime is supporting all of them. So I don't understand why the world is still negotiating with the terrorists. And then and Europe. I mean, there is a lot of reason behind it, which I don't want to speak about it here. But this negotiation from Mr. Trump is it's a little bit confusing for Iranians. Also, it's the fact that it doesn't change the fact that we are so grateful to everything that he has done for Iranian people. But I don't understand why would you negotiate with terrorists, and they have proved that they are terrorists.
Absolutely. And Mandana, your own situation, the minute you started talking about Iran, the atrocities they do to their own people, what happened to you?
Well, in India, since January, I tried to get permission for protest and I didn't get permission. And everyone was like, be careful, India is supporting the regime. The Iranian embassy in India is very strong. They have a lot of people who, some of them I didn't know before, which they made a phone call and they said, hey, listen, just like keep quiet, don't talk about it. But I didn't stop. I didn't stop. I kept, going to the police station to get permission for protest. And when Khamenei died, when I actually celebrated, there was this massive hatred towards me in India of the supporter of Khamenei, where they had a rally in Delhi, Bangalore, Lucknow, and I was one of the strong voice in India, and then I became kind of a target for them. So first it was social media and messages, but then later it became a little bit more aggressive. They came to my apparently they went to my old house and they were looking for me. There were a bunch of people, and I had to put a police complaint. I had a police protection in India for a month and a half, and I had to leave India. And then while just before I left, I had this interview and a debate with one of the Indian channels, X News. And in that debate, there was this Indian mullah sitting in Qom, literally reading from the script that is being given to him and promoting the regime and saying that the regime is so strong and Israel is this and America is that, and calling me out and calling me a traitor and saying that, first of all, you're sitting outside of Iran and telling these countries to bomb you, shame on you. And then the moment I challenge him, after that, he left. By the way, he left the conversation. He said, I refuse to speak with this woman. He left. And exactly, I think 2, 3 hours later, I got a message saying that this is your Kodamelli, and we know who you are. We're going to take all your land, whatever you have in Iran. And not only that, watch your back because we're going to be looking for you everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are, we're going to find you and you're going to pay the price of being a traitor to your country. And then after that, there was on Instagram, then there was a phone call coming from Iran saying that watch your back and, stop talking and remove your stories. So that's,
So
yeah.
you've been run out of your own country, Ron, and now you've been run out of India by the Islamic Republic agents that are looking for people like you who are speaking out.
Correct.
Mandana, a lot of what we saw in January with the brave people of Iran coming out on the streets and saying enough is enough. And now, President Trump, part of, I think, his thinking is that he wants to get to a point, or maybe he feels he's already at the point, that the Americans and the Israelis have weakened the infrastructure of the regime enough that now the people of Iran can come out and liberate the country. Do you think that that's realistic at this point?
It's not, and it gets me really scared by thinking about it because I know this is a fact. My phone calls has been with people who are telling me that there are a lot of Arabs, some of them are Afghani, Houthis, or, they don't know the nationality, but they know the Iranians are being stationed on the streets and everywhere. Yes, the regime has been in weakest point, and that's why they have brought all these proxies from all the other places to Iran. And the reason those people are in Iran is because they don't have enough people to help them. They don't have enough supporter to help them. So what happened is that stopping the war is not going to help Iranian people. But what I would want to, and I hope this is going to be our reality, that the boots are on the ground on ground by Israel and America soon. Otherwise, we're gonna see a massive execution till coming like in next couple of days, and I hope that's not gonna be the case.
Well, because they've brought in these mercenaries in order to do what I guess the local Iranian military doesn't want to do, which is murder its own people.
Yeah,
But does that say maybe
yeah.
that the military within Iran is beginning to break down?
Well, they already have broke down. If you look at the numbers of people who they've literally lost almost 75% of everybody. And by the way, that's why I feel like that's why now they're kind of taking help from Pakistan. Because if you look at Pakistan as well, I don't count Pakistan as a nation where they have a democracy, because of their relationships with their neighborhood and especially with India. You see that how Pakistanis are. And to be honest, it's like they found their own type of people who's gonna help them. Because if they would have gone to Saudi, UAE, no one is gonna help them. Who's helping Iranian right now? It's either gonna be China, it's gonna be Russia, or now it's Pakistan, right? Or
Yeah,
India, as you know, in
yeah,
some extent.
yeah.
So they weaken so much that they don't have people in Iran. And that's why on their state TV as well, they're asking women, families, kids to come and fight. It just shows how short of human and short of people they've become, and still they're lying that millions of Iranians are fighting alongside with the regime. What regime you are talking about? Nothing has left from them.
It's really incredible. And I really do pray, Mandana, that they begin to deconstruct. And who knows what will happen in these negotiations? I don't believe for a second that the Islamic Republic is going to be honest about anything. Never mind getting rid of their nuclear or ballistic or stop funding the proxies. They are liars, they are murderers, and I don't know what's going to come from these negotiations. But I really do pray, and all of the people in Israel, listen, we've been under rocket attack for the
No,
last 40 days, and we're all happy to do this for the sake of the freedom of Iran. And so we
I
pray
know,
with you, Mandana, that you can come to Israel
I
very
know.
soon and that we can both go
Yeah,
to a free Tehran really very soon.
I hope so. And talking about Israel and the attacks, when I was in Tel Aviv, there was an attack, and I heard the siren, and I had to run with my friends, and I kudos you guys. I kudos the strength that you have. I kudos the unity that you have. I kudos your people. That by even being under attack by they're not my regime, but my country. I feel like that attack is coming from Iran, not from Iranian people, but I kudos you guys still by being under so much of pressure from this regime. Still, you guys are supporting Iranian people. I appreciate. It's so much respect for Israelian and what you guys are going through, and it breaks my heart that, and I don't understand it, ma'am. I don't understand it. Why there is this massive hatred towards Jews, toward Israeli, and the same people who come to the TV and they shout and scream that, oh, America and Israel killed so many people or kids in Iran. And I'm like, why are we not talking about Israeli people?
Yeah,
Have you seen what has happened to Israel? Have you seen
yeah,
the amount of attacks that Iran has done for many years?
yeah.
So I hope one day we're going to be in Tehran, free Tehran, that we can actually go back to my homeland and we can celebrate together.
Amen. We all look forward to that. You stay safe, Mandana. Really great talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure.